My name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube, and in today's video I'm going to be going over 3 men's fragrances that you can pick up for under $50 that are great for summer. Starting things off, we've got Mont Blanc's Legend Spirit. This is the 30 ml bottle, or 1 fluid ounce if you're in the United States. And I picked this up from Chemist Warehouse last summer for $22. At that price, it was an absolute steal. The larger bottles are better value, but we are recommending under $50 here. The fragrance itself smells like Paco Rabanne's Invictus Aqua, which I've covered a couple of times on this channel. But this is, I would say, slightly fresher and less dense than that. So if you want a more summer appropriate fragrance with solid performance, check out Mont Blanc's Legend Spirit. I find that Invictus Aqua has an ambergris note that some people dislike. This, however, doesn't have so much of that note. It does smell like Invictus Aqua, but it just doesn't have the density. And for that reason, it's first on my recommendations. Next up is one you've probably all smelled before, Hugo Boss Man. The original fresh aromatic fragrance to create your individual style. Top notes of green apple, heart notes of aromatic notes, very specific guys, and base notes of fir balsam. So it says the fragrance smells like what it says on the tin, or the box if you prefer. It is fresh, it's a little sweet, and it's a little woody. And it's got a little bit of spice as well. This is one of those fragrances that I really doubt anyone would dislike. Its performance isn't fantastic. I would give it probably 5 hours on my skin, if that. But it is something that you can spray on a little more times without it being too offensive or too overpowering. The fragrance itself, the DNA, is a classic by now. I mean, we've all smelt it, and it's just a great fragrance for summer if you're after something that isn't an aquatic freshie, you know what I mean? And so for that reason, I recommend it. You can find this at Chemist Warehouse here in Australia for about $35 to $45 a bottle, depending on what specific sale they have. And this is, I think it's 75 ml? Yeah, 75 ml. And at that price, it's well worth picking up, especially because it's just one of those classically masculine scents. And last on the list is the cheapest of the bunch, going in at $27.99, and it's probably, it's definitely the least known of the bunch. Yardley Gentleman Suave. Yardley Gentleman Suave, fragrance for the chivalrous man who is polite in demeanor and confident in appeal. Fresh notes of bergamot, lavender, and orange oil settle to a tender heart of neroli that dries down, to a warm base of musk and nutmeg for a lingering trail. Now, I sprayed this on my hand earlier. It is quite fresh, but it's a little aquatic as well, but it takes it in a slightly different direction that you might not necessarily expect. You don't really get some of those notes with your typical freshies and aquatics. Like with all the Yardley fragrances, well, most of them at least, they don't smell good straight out of the cap, so I'd recommend using this on a tester first if you're going to make any sort of decision as to whether or not you want to buy it. Generally though, if you're going into a store, there'll be a tester bottle and there'll be some tester strips. The musk, as it's dried down, it's been on my hand about 10 minutes now, as it's dried down a touch, some of that musk has made itself more prominent. And I get a slight spice as well, which is obviously coming from the nutmeg. And here's the bottle. It's got an interesting look. Looks a little bit like Windex, but I'm not going to judge it based on that. For the price, this is a great fragrance. It's an eau de parfum, so it lasts a little longer than you would expect, especially for $27.99. I've seen it on eBay for under $30. And so if this at all appeals to you, check it out on eBay, I reckon, because if you find, an individual that's selling it, make them an offer of like $20 and I reckon chances are they'll accept it. So yeah, those are 3 summer men's fragrances that I recommend. If you've ever worn any of them before, let me know in the comments below, like always, as I'm really curious to know who's worn what and who currently wears what. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, most luscious locks on YouTube. I'll catch you guys around.